Portia and Orlando were friends who worked together and decided to take a trip to the Dominican Republic. Orlando Moore was 32 and Portia Ravenelle was 43. They came to the country on March 23rd for a 4-day vacation in Samaná, northeast of the Dominican Republic, and were scheduled to return to the United States on the 27th of that month. The Dominican Republic was seen to be a picture-perfect vacation in Samaná, and all appeared to be going well. This is an all-inclusive resort, and it seemed to be the most beautiful, cost-effective getaways. The last photo of the pair showed them leisurely riding horseback. This is episode number 6, The Missing Case of Orlando Moore and Portia Ravenelle. Welcome to Key Pieces of Evidence. I am your host, Key Darlise. We will look at the case of Portia Ravenelle and Orlando Moore. Before we begin, Key Pieces of Evidence is a weekly podcast that focuses on true crime mystery and any information that might bring awareness. Anything I say is comprised of my findings from different online sources, which will be linked down below, and of course my thoughts and opinions. And if I've said anything by mistake or left out anything, please kindly let me know all in the comments, along with the link to your source. I will only be discussing things that are public information. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Key Darlise. This week we will be discussing the case of Portia Ravenelle and Orlando Moore. This is episode number 6, The Missing Case of Orlando Moore and Portia Ravenelle. Portia and Orlando were on a romantic vacation. The Mount Vernon, New York couple had planned a relaxing 4-day vacation at the Grand Bahia Principe Kayakoa, an all-inclusive resort in the city of Samaná in the country's northeast region. The two left Liberty National Airport in Newark, New Jersey on March 23rd and were expected to be back on March 27th. The neighbor, John Hollis, reported texting Orlando about his home a few days before the couple went missing, and all seemed fine. Tourism in the Dominican Republic is a key part of the nation's economy, and its coastal resorts are the most popular amongst travelers. The tourism industry made up more than 17% of the country's economy last year, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council. In 2018, about 6.5 million tourists visited the Dominican Republic, more than any other Caribbean nation, and according to the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the country attracted 2.2 million from the United States, which is more than any other country in the region. Now, loved ones say that Portia and Orlando were communicating via Snapchat and posting photos of their holiday on social media before their disappearance. These photos have been distributed to authorities and the media to help find them. However, Portia and Orlando's social media accounts have been taken down. According to CNN reports, Cheryl Freeman and her boyfriend, Carter Washington, spent time with Portia in Orlando after meeting them on their way to breakfast on March 25th at their all-inclusive resort, the Grand Bahia Principe Kayakoa. Cheryl Freeman from Halifax, Nova Scotia, had recounted Portia and Orlando's final hours before they were to fly out of Santo Domingo on March 27 to return home. Cheryl Freeman, a tourist from Nova Scotia, was friends with Portia in Orlando and has shared photos of the couple to help with the investigation. Cheryl spoke with CNN and stated that they parted ways at 9:30 p.m. on March 26, so that Portia in Orlando could catch a 2:00 a.m. flight from the Dominican Republic's capital in Santo Domingo back to the U.S. Cheryl also revealed that Portia was anxious and that she and Orlando would be driving in the middle of the night and was worried about having enough gas in their rental car, along with a solid GPS signal. Portia also shared with Cheryl that she wanted to make sure that her phone had enough charge for the 3-hour trip in a rental car back to the airport. According to Cheryl, allegedly, Portia had been calling the car rental company and was told by a representative not to roll down the windows at any time during the trip to protect against theft. Portia had also told Cheryl that she and Orlando had gotten a good deal on airfare, but didn't realize that the airport was 100 miles away from the resort in Samana. She was nervous about driving the rental car, a white Kia, to the airport for their 2 a.m. flight after the rental company warned them not to stop for anyone along the way. Keep in mind that the local residents knew which cars in the area were rentals and were known for trying to mug tourists, the rental company told Portia. Now, if a rental agency was giving me this type of information, I probably would have reconsidered taking another mode of transportation. Portia and Orlando's family became worried when the couple failed to return home as scheduled on March 27th. They soon began contacting authorities in the U.S. and the Dominican Republic to report their loved ones as missing. The family of Portia Ravenelle has since flown to the Dominican Republic to assist in the search, while the Orlando Moore's family say they were waiting to hear more from authorities. This is definitely not like my brother. He's not just going to run off on a hiatus and not tell his family, his sister Lachey Turner told a reporter from NBC4 New York. Keep in mind that Portia and Orlando were middle-aged Americans who were responsible and working. They also had loved ones back home that were worried about them. So this is not a case of running away. I believe this is a case of foul play. Records show that they did not board their return flight. Their rental car has not been located, and both of their phones have been shut off with all calls going to voicemail. Their car was not moved from its spot at the Liberty National Airport in Newark, New Jersey, and CNN has reported that the Dominican Republic National Police were not providing any details regarding their investigation, and the Dominican Republic's Washington, D.C. embassy could not be reached for comment. So if we have American tourists that are missing in another country, yet the Dominican Republic does not want to provide any communication, it makes you wonder if they are hiding something. Should Americans really support tourism in this country anymore if they're not able to give us information about our loved ones that are missing there? Are we really safe in these beautiful exotic resorts that we travel to? A month before Portia and Orlando went to the Dominican Republic on February 12th, the State Department put a notice on their website warning tourists to use increased caution in the Dominican Republic due to crime. and says that a significant crime exists throughout the Dominican Republic. Their website advises tourists to hand over any possessions during a robbery, not to carry or wear expensive items, be wary of strangers, and to travel with other people. The Overseas Security Advisory Council, the OSAC, which advises diplomatic personnel stations overseas, they say that crimes continue to be the number one safety concern for both Dominicans and diplomatic staff. So I wonder, did Portia and Orlando take this information into account before they went on vacation? Now that I think about it, especially in other countries, do we look up information such as this before we book a flight somewhere? Or do we look on social media, see the beautiful pictures, and the all-inclusive discount prices? The OSAC site says that drive-by robberies are common. Crime is generally not violent if the victim cooperates. However, an assailant will not hesitate to use violence if the victim resists. It says adding the wide availability of weapons, the use of drugs, and the weak criminal justice system all contribute to the high level of criminality in the country. In addition to a high crime rate, the Dominican Republic has also been listed as a dangerous destination for driving. According to the 2015 Global Status Report on Road Safety issued by the World Health Organization, the Dominican Republic has the 12th most dangerous roads in the world. So with Portia and Orlando driving 2 a.m. to catch their flight, you can't help but wonder, did they come into a situation such as a robbery? Remember, Portia allegedly stated to Cheryl that she got a deal with the rental agency as well as with the flights. Sometimes it's best just to get the safest option instead of the deal. According to the police authorities, Portia was found unconscious and badly injured on the Las Americas highway and taken to the Dario Canturas Hospital. Sadly, Orlando Moore's body was found floating in the sea 19 miles away from the accident site on March 31st. According to the Santo Domingo police, Portia passed away in a local hospital while Moore's body was found near the airport on April 4th, several days after missing the return flight to the Mount Vernon home. The autopsy was announced last week on Facebook's Memorial for Orlando, where Orlando's friends and family insist that they don't believe the National Police version, noting that they are also coordinating an investigation. According to the report, agents with the National Police made contact with several local fishermen who were interviewed, and they had heard a loud crash at kilometer 19 of the Las Americas International Freeway on the night of March 26, 27. The road is a major thoroughfare to the international airport in Santo Domingo. A woman who is not carrying identification was found in the wreckage and taken to a doctor at the Dario Canturas Hospital. The investigation revealed that the woman was critically injured and spent 6 days in intensive care, where she succumbed to her injuries. So if we go by the police theory, Portia and Orlando passed away in this crash. How did Portia end up on the side of the road, yet Orlando and the car floating in the water 19 miles away from the accident. How was she able to escape? Yet he was not. It's unfortunate that Portia and Orlando's circumstances ended in this manner. But we must bring awareness to this story, for if we don't talk about it, it can happen again. And speaking of again, did you know that 48 Americans have passed away in the Dominican Republic between 2016 and 2018? The deaths includes drowning, homicide, vehicle, or other accidents, according to the United States Department. 5 Americans have passed away in the Dominican Republic since March, 3 of them from the same exact hotel. Edward Nathaniel Holmes and Cynthia Day, Miranda Short Werner, all died of respiratory failure while staying at the same hotel at the end of May. Additionally, a Delaware woman claimed she was brutally attacked at the Dominican Republic hotel. It's all very unfortunate that we have to report about things happening while we're on vacation. If you want the next video to be about any of the cases, please like and comment down below. I hope you all understand how important it is to just be aware of your surroundings, especially when you are traveling. A vacation could turn into something more than you can ever imagine. This was episode number 6, The Missing Case of Portia, Ravenelle, and Orlando Moore. So, until next time.